This is CrossREF episode 2, recorded April 10th, 2012. Live online lessons and mobile apps? Learners are not impressed. Welcome to the second episode of our new show CrossREF, a short podcast in which we take two articles or blog posts that cover a certain topic and either validate or invalidate each other. In this episode of CrossREF, we are going to have a look at some data about language learning. The basis for today's podcast are the annual language barometers 2011 and 2012 of online language learning community busuu.com. But before we start, let me quickly thank our sponsor, StudyBlue. Learn from others, teach yourself. StudyBlue enables students to quickly share and compare their explanations with more than 1 million of their peers who are sharing over 40 million ideas. Anyone can test drive the database of explanations by visiting StudyBlue's homepage. Visit studyblue.com and follow @StudyBlue on Twitter. So some data first. In 2011, Busuu conducted their survey amongst 16,000 of their users from 150 countries, and in 2012 they asked 45,000 members coming from 230 countries. Multiple answers were possible in both surveys. Both studies vary only slightly in their results why people learn a language and how much they spend on learning it. Hint here, close to $1,000 on average. Side note, if you're interested in deeper insights on the motivation to learn a foreign language, I invite you to read my article over at Disrupt Education for Big Think, in which I compare the latest Busuu survey with another recent survey done by Digital Publishing. Ask which tools help users most to learn languages in an efficient manner. The majority of Busuu users answered with language courses abroad. 32% of all answers in 2011, and this number went down to 23% in 2012, but remains the most popular answer. Whereas 24% of participants used Web 2.0 solutions such as Busuu or other language learning communities in 2011, only 20% see it the most efficient method this year. However, online individual learning is pretty stable, with 13% last year and 12% this year. It is interesting to see that slightly more people prefer personal tutors in 2012. This number went up by 4% to a total of 15%, although it's not entirely clear whether we only talk about personal tutors offline or online and offline combined. Considerably less people see video chat such as Skype as an efficient method. Usage is down from 7% to a mere 4% this year, although missing structure could be an explanation here when only peer learning is taken into consideration. But it is certainly also less flexible than self-paced individual learning, and the flexibility of online learning with 35% of all answers is the most important reason for participants of this survey to choose an online solution, followed by direct contact with native speakers at 24%. Traditional classes, however, doubled their numbers from 4% in 2011 up to 8% in 2012. And the good old book even tripled from a mere 2% to 6% this year, which is, of course, still not very much in total. CD-ROMs are stable at 3%, so do podcasts, which don't seem to play a big role at all, getting only 2% in 2011 and 1% in 2012. Most surprisingly, to me at least, is the adoption of mobile learning stagnating at a mere 2%. Taking one of their other pie charts into consideration, the prospect of mobile learning doesn't seem to take off, at least not in the near future. Only 4% of Busuu users who participated in the 2012 survey see it as the most important method to learn a language in the future.